10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's good, people? Welcome to another Prem Panel Show. Welcome one, welcome all. It's going to be a good one today, I'm feeling. The vibes are here. We got the panel. Obviously, Kagey, Aaron, George need no introduction, but we got a special guest today who we're hoping to actually sign on a permanent deal. He's on loan at the moment. We're actually trying to get this permanent deal done. We're negotiating with the club. We're trying to get the right fee. Big up yourself, Chappie, man. How you doing, bro?
That contract's in the post, and guess who's delivering it? Me. That's why it's never going to get here. I'm useless. Oh dear. Man.
Big up, though, bro. Big up for jumping on. Obviously, we're only going to have Chappie for about half an hour, so we'll start with the Leicester stuff first. But obviously, a pleasure to have him on. And as I said, we're hoping Lee can be a permanent fixture for the future moving forward. So, without further ado, and Lewis, unfortunately, is a little under the weather, so he won't be with us today, guys. And Cal will be jumping in ASAP, so don't worry. So, let's kick it off, guys. I'm going to start. You know what? I don't even want to touch on the weekend unless Lee wants to. As the guest, if he wants to pop some shots off, then, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm not going to go there. What I want to start with, is Dhaka. Now, in the summer, Tottenham, as George and I was talking about behind the stage, Liverpool and Tottenham were two teams.
I can hear a song coming. Samamina, Pats and Dhaka, Samamina, Sangualia. It comes from Zambia. Samamina, Pats and Dhaka, Samamina, Sangualia. It comes from Zambia. Come on! Yes! I like Dhaka.
I can't lie. This sounds good, you know. I like it.
That's got a vibe, innit? I'm not gonna lie. That's got a vibe.
This is different, man. It's a lot of other chance.
That's got a vibe still. But yeah, we as I said, me and George were talking about behind stage. Liverpool and Tottenham are two teams that I'm not gonna say turn their nose up at him, but I think the fan base did. I think it's all fair to say we all as a fan base, myself included, was like, nah, he's got to go and prove himself at another level first, which I still kind of stand by, because I'm not going to act like what he's done so far means he's all of a sudden just an instant, you know, we got to look at people like Sissoko at Newcastle who looked good and then it didn't quite work out. So we're not going to get too carried away, but he has looked impressive in what he's done so far. So how are you feeling, Chappie, about him?
Mate, he got 4 goals last night, and I think the last player that did that for Leicester, I don't even think I was swimming in my dad's nutsack, to be quite honest with you. That's how long ago it was. I think 1958, I think, was the last player to get 4 goals in one game. So maybe we're getting carried away, but I mean, he's bringing the Zambian fans. I don't know if you've seen them last night. I don't know. We had 25 fans at the ground at Moscow. 25. We weren't allocated tickets until about 6 days before the game even started. So you've got to sort out like late passport, whatever it's called these days at Moscow. You've got to get all these relegation shit through. So we could only take like bare minimum fans, and it's freezing there anyway. And half of the 25 were from Zambia.
Mad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but he looks like a very, very good Vardy replacement, boys.
Well, I mean, that was obviously the reason why he brought him in, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's kind of off the shoulder, down the channels. You know, he's fast, he's pacey. It's just, I don't know, something about him, boys. I think you've all let him slip through the fingers.
How soon does he replace him? Would you just see Jamie Vardy leaving at the end of the season?
Nah, come on, man. Vardy's not obviously going to leave the club. If he does, it will literally be a retirement party, won't it? And you know what Vardy's like with his parties, man. Like Vardy. I mean,
one final shindig.
I mean, he's 35 in January, I believe. Vardy, something like that. So,
swear on. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I mean, he's still going though.
He's still looking good. I mean, his form is mad.
It's frightening, you know.
I mean, you might agree with me just on a bias, but I don't know if the panel agree with me. I think Vardy's probably the most impressive for his age out of all the stars in the football world, because I think most of them apart from probably Messi, who is actually a bit younger, but most of them you can see a decline of some kind where you can tell it's the wind down years. But at 35, Vardy still looks to me like when he was 31, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually really impressive how fit and healthy that guy's kept himself. And has he even lost a yard of pace? I mean, he probably has, but I mean, do you know what I mean? I think it's ridiculous.
He don't show it at all. I mean, the man don't get injured. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's a rough and tumble of the lower leagues? It does actually get you ready for because I mean, the Premier League's a piece of cake compared to Division 2 and all that, anyway. If we're talking about aggression and all that kind of stuff, you know.
These challenges, you get like leg breakers and there's no booking. It's like, what?
So yeah, I mean, guys, what do you not think about the? I'll start with you, KG, because obviously you had a club that wasn't looking at him, unless Leeds were looking at him. I don't even know if Leeds were looking at him, but I don't think they were. How do you feel about Dhaka? Do you think he's a good addition to the Prem?
Yeah, man. But along with Vardy, though, Drift, only a couple of weeks ago, you were saying that Vardy was finished on this very show, by the way. So I don't know how you just flipped around to say that he's all that again. But
he's trying to sign me up, boys.
No. Hold on. In terms of athletically, I think he's very impressive. Like the way he looks, the way he's playing, like he still looks the same person. His goals dried up, 100%. But I'm talking about athletically, like he still sprints, he still runs around. He doesn't look like he's like losing his athleticism, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, thank you for that one.
Yeah, but in all fairness, though, last season he was being more of a playmaker more than a goal scorer, and now he's gone back to goals again this season. So
yeah.
I don't think he ever lost it. Like I say, Jamie Vardy is going to be one of those people that people are not going to appreciate until he's retired, because he's a legend of the Premier League. 100%. Everything about him is he's a big personality, but no one needs to talk about it because he's still in form. Whereas other people need to talk about the personality because their skills have declined. But for me, Vardy is a legend. But now go ahead, reply.
I was going to say, I think he was overlooked purely for the England side of things in 2016 in particular. I think he was way overlooked. He deserved far more of a chance for England, to be honest with you. But that ship sailed, and that's probably prolonged his career, which is why he's still going, I think. Retiring from England, I think, really helped.
Yeah, that's another thing about Jamie Vardy. He's different, though, isn't he? He said that Harry Kane was number one. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste my time, keep on coming out international break. There's not a lot of players that do that, but this is Jamie Vardy we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. The guy is just so different in the way he moves. Yeah, he's a legend for me.
He's just a shit house as well, and I love it. I do love it. I hate when it's against us. But it is incredible. You can't deny it.
Yeah, brings character to the game. The game's losing character the more money it goes into it.
It's true. He's brought the League 1, League 2 stuff with him to the Prem, made it his own, and it's worked.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump out and jump back in, guys. Hold on.
All right, cool. I mean, just sticking with Leicester quickly before we move on as well, Lee. How are you feeling about your form? Because off of the back of what I actually said earlier on, is it looking like Vardy's starting to wind down? He wasn't getting the goals, and Leicester were looking like it was going to be a bad season. And again, it was only early days, but the win against Man United, I'm obviously guessing you lot are hoping it gives you a bit of an injection, because before that, people were worried about Leicester's form. Do you know what I mean? So how are you actually feeling about Leicester's form in general?
If you look at Maddison, he's not actually done anything since February. There's been no assists. There's been no goals. And there's your playmaker. James Maddison's your playmaker. And when you don't have a playmaker on the field, someone else has to do it. So like you mentioned about Jamie Vardy, kind of turned into a bit of a semi sort of striker and a playmaker at the same time. And Nacho getting in the goals in, especially at the end of last season. I think that's where Leicester's troubles lie, which is if we don't have Maddison, we don't have that creativity spark in the middle. I know Tielemans is more of your kind of a box-to-box player that drives forwards, but you haven't got that Maddison, because at the minute he's still not quite clicking. Maddison, he looked good last night, but still way off on where maybe 2 years ago when he was in the conversation between Grealish, Mount, all these, Cam kind of players, and now he's not even in conversation, is he really? Let's be honest.
No, I think for me, I thought he was when was it? It was like a year and a half ago when the whole conversation was happening. I had him first at the time to be chosen, or at least like it was between him and Grealish. I think I had. But
is he in the conversation for you, George?
No, not at all. Not right now. I haven't been that impressed with him. Not any time.
I had him above Grealish as well. I was one of the people who I'm a Maddison guy. I had him above Grealish 2 years ago myself. So I mean, I feel like his performance was a lot better against Man United than it has been though. He was one of the players in the Man U game that was performing quite well for you, but obviously it's very few and far between at the moment, isn't it? So
just needs to find some form desperately.
Yeah, I mean, George, obviously we spoke about it, as I said, behind the scene, Dhaka. The way you guys are moving at the moment, Harry Kane's coming back into a bit of form, obviously. You know, he was never going to be a real worry. It was more just he had to sort his head out.
Assemble.
But how you feeling about Dhaka now?
It's gutting, man, because we were in the market for a second striker. Or at least I feel like we should have been anyway, because we didn't re-sign Vinicius. We obviously didn't re-sign Bale. And like you said, with the whole Kane situation, it's like it wasn't even necessary to have a replacement. Every year we still need a second striker for like games like today where we lost, where like how can we be relying on a 17-year-old to be our backup striker? Like that's just out of order. This guy like plays under 23 matches and like he's still punching above his age sort of thing, and yet we're trying to expect him to do well on the European stage like as a 17-year-old is ridiculous. And the fact that I think it was only like 22.5 mil for Dhaka or something like that, like to let it slip like that, and not even compete, I thought was a bit ridiculous on our end, especially since we brought in a director of football to replace older players, bring in new ones. So I'm honestly I'm a bit gutted, man. I thought he would have been like a perfect sort of second striker for us, and he's something completely different to Kane as well. So it's not like he's the replacement. You can maybe work with him. We still kind of got the third spot open as a front three. So I don't know, man. I'm gutted. I think he's going to be a good player. I really do.
I mean, at Leicester, we all thought it was going to be Edouard to come to Leicester because obviously the former relationship with him and Rodgers. We were sitting here being linked to it for probably 18 months on and off. And that deal just went cold and flat. And then the next thing you know, this lad Dhaka's signed. Like, what? Just like that. I mean, Jamok is taking subliminals at me and Matt here. I mean, I'm not even trying to drag man while I'm going down, but I think all of the Kop-Ish people said Dhaka wasn't good enough. But me and Matt are obviously being asked to stand in front of the congregation here, Matt. Here's the thing, as I said before.
Ask me the question, bro. Ask me the question, and I'll give a response.
How are you feeling about Dhaka and Liverpool missing out or turning their nose up at Dhaka?
You asking me, yeah?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, I'm asking you, bro.
All right, cool. All right, this is how I see it. So far, if I'm not mistaken, Dhaka's only like come off the bench a couple of times in the Prem, but he's mainly played in Europa, and that's probably because
he's got five goals inside 90 minutes. By the way,
no, I know. Like listen, Dhaka's been playing extremely well, but I will say this though, from what I've seen, he's better than maybe what I anticipated. But at the same time, I kind of want to see if he can mix it up. And that's no dig on him, because when I saw the goals yesterday, a lot of it, in fact, all the goals pretty much were kind of like in behind. And I've always known Dhaka to be very quick in getting behind. But the way how we play, we don't always play that way with our central striker. It's like, have you got the link-up play? Can you bring others in? Like, kind of thing. And it does make me think, like, in the Prem, what's he going to do? I don't think he'll flop in the Prem. No, he won't. Do I think he's going to
replace Fits Leicester's system?
This is what I was going to say. Yeah, is he going to replace Jamie Vardy? That's a hard task because Jamie Vardy's a legend. Jamie Vardy's a Premier League legend. Yeah. However, the kind of traits that he has, and Leicester play to his strengths, I think they will get the best out of Dhaka than what we would. Because I think if we was to have Dhaka, Drift, I think we would have to play slightly different. And remember, we play different football to Leicester. And that's no disrespect. I just think the two teams are very different. Yep. And I think they're more catered to playing the way how he plays. And I'll say this one more time. From what I've seen so far, Dhaka has really surprised me. But, however, I want to see him do it in the Prem. And if he does do well, I will give him his flowers, because I will never disrespect a man that's playing well and is on form right now.
Well, fair dues, man. I mean, as I said, it's one of them things. He's still got a long way to go for me to actually make me feel like regret kind of thing. But, you know what I mean? He's actually stepped up a level and he's still playing well, so you can only give praise to that.
Definitely.
Moving the next topic I was going to move on to was going to be Leeds, but Kagey's having a little bit of problems with his connection, so I'll save that hopefully when he's back. And I'll go on to the other topic here, and I don't even mean to do a double slap again, Aaron, because I know you aren't actually in the celebration camp, but Ollie, Ronaldo bails him out again. Another European madness where Ronaldo scores a late goal. I celebrated it. I don't know about any of you lot, but I genuinely celebrated that Ronaldo goal. Ollie in all day, every day, bird gang and all that. But yeah. But let's start with the game first, Aaron. How did you actually feel about the game? Like, take me through the moment you went 1-0 down, 2-0 down, then you realised it. Because as soon as you scored the goal at 2-0 to make it 2-1, I knew you'd win the game. I'm not even just saying that. I knew you would win that game.
Jeff, we got some breaking news. I've got footage of Aaron when Ronaldo scored his winner and he realised that Solskjaer ain't coming out of a job anytime soon. Hey, look a bit different there still about the cap and that, bro.
No, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that Mr. DT clip. You know when he celebrated and then goes,
Yeah.
You set that up.
I've won, but at what cost?
Bro, I felt Aaron's pain, but no, Aaron, this is your time, bro.
Walk me through the game, bro. Walk me through the game.
Yeah, man. I was actually at the ground yesterday, and you listen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be honest. I celebrated the goals half-heartedly because you can't keep doing this and think you can get away with it every single game. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And something that I noticed as well, for the first time in a very long time, the fans booed, bro. I think after that first half, the whole stadium was booing, and that was a sign, bro. Listen, that first half, that's exactly what's worrying me at the moment. Yes, we won. Yes, we came back from 2-0 down. We scored the win. We scored the 2-1. We equalized, and then we scored the winner. That first half is worrying me because you do that against Liverpool, you're getting dismantled. Like there's no excuses. You're getting absolutely battered if you even think about trying playing like this against Liverpool. That first half an hour, I can't lie, bro. We got absolutely outplayed. Atalanta were just bopping us, playing the ball around us, combinations galore. Listen, we were all over the place. We were all over the place, and we just looked like boys. It was boys against men, when on paper, we had the better team. And bear in mind, this is an Atalanta side that had 4 or 5 main players missing. Zapata was on the bench, thank God, because when he came on, Lindelof got absolutely bullied. Every single duel, he got bullied. So I'm glad that Zapata didn't start, because if he had started the game, listen, who knows what would have happened. But we've got to thank De Gea again, because he was there when he needed to be.
I was going to say, bro, I mean, are you with me on this? I think he's looking like throwback to the 18, 19 De Gea.
Yes.
He's actually becoming the player who I kind of was thinking, is it all in his head why he's not playing well? He's the best keeper to ever play in the Prem for me,
but before the fans were telling him saying he's finished.
When you concede 4 goals against Leicester and De Gea is still the man of the match, it tells you everything you need to know.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Do you know what I'm saying? It tells you everything you need to know. There's so many games where De Gea kept us in a game. Villarreal at home. If it wasn't for De Gea, we could have been down 3-4-0 at half time. So
it's finally got some serious competition in Henderson. Like it actually became a threat towards the end of last season. So now he has to step up his game. Before he had no threat because there was no one coming close to him.
There you go. So listen, boys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very worried for Sunday, because everyone's on this euphoria thing now. Yeah, we won against Atalanta. We came back, throwback FC, and coming back from behind. Fergie time. Listen, it's not going to work against Liverpool. One thing I was very happy about was Paul Scholes' comments. I really did not expect him to come out and say what he said, but I was so
rate it.
Did. I rated it so much. I rated so much because you could see it wasn't acted, bro. It was real. It was raw. And he was close to swearing as well. Like
he swerved that phenomenally, innit? Scholes swerved that phenomenally. He's a G the way he swerved that. He's a G.
See, what he felt at that point was real, bro. It was real, and you could tell man just had enough of it. And he was right. Try and do that against Liverpool. See if you don't get sacked. Try and do that.
That's the thing, man. Like, because for me personally, with that, I was screaming at the TV when I can't remember who it was. Who's their forward or their striker that came on, and he like was basically what he had like that wonderful little kind of flicked over his head past Lindelof. Was it
that was a patter.
Yeah, when he hit it straight at the keeper, and I'm like, bro, you had the whole fucking goal to like shoot at. And I'm not being funny. If that's a Salah or whoever, you know it's going in the back and then all day long.
You know what? To be fair, normally Zapata would put that away. He's actually a good striker.
If he was nervous or if it was like he was,
he just come on, innit? And I think he was coming back from injury as well. Yeah. You know, I mean, is this? I don't want to say you lot are a toxic fan base at the moment because you have good right to be annoyed on what you're annoyed about. So you're not just doing it for the sake of it, especially the Glazers and where they do things or whatever. But it's got to be a bad place when half the fan base is actually not happy the team's won a game. Like, if you really deep it, you're here for that, innit? Like, above all else, we're here for our teams to win. But for things to be so bad that you aren't actually bothered if your team wins, that's a bad place to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right, man. And Man United obviously did their usual, post-match post on social media. And if you look at the comments, bro, there's so many Ollie out comments. It's actually ridiculous. So people are starting to see, yes, we're winning games, but our performances are not good. And I think the fan base knows, or a large part of the fan base knows, that this type of football is not sustainable. Sooner or later, there will be a team that will punish us. It might be you guys. It might be Tottenham next week. It might be City after that. It might even be Watford, because no game is guaranteed for us to win. It might be Watford, and I'm looking at our schedule. Yeah, Liverpool, Atalanta, City, Watford, Villarreal, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Well, we're playing you next Sunday. So.
Hold on, whoa! Is that actually the next line of fixtures you have? Yeah,
Liverpool, Atalanta, Tottenham, City, Villarreal. Watford, City, Villarreal, Chelsea, Arsenal. Bro, nothing's guaranteed.
Bloody hell. He's going to get sacked, ain't he? Flipping hell, man.
That's ridiculous. You got a decent December, though, to be fair, when you do get a new manager in.
Yeah, I mean...
in November, we got the international break. That would be a perfect time to bring in another manager. But I'm hearing things like, if Ollie does get sacked, Carrick and McKenna taking over till the end of the season. I'm like, no, bin them as well.
Please.
That's just the same thing.
That's it. I made a joke to my brother, what if they give it to Carrick? Because I was even saying, what if they give it Giggsy? They want a yes man though, right? I'm hearing a lot of Man United fans who are actually coming out and saying, look, the reason they're not getting rid of Ollie is because a manager like Zidane or Conte isn't going to actually have it. They're not going to sugarcoat all of the rubbish. They're not going to burn their reputation to defend people they don't even care about. Therefore, they may not even take the job in the first place, or they won't even be hired. Because Conte is going to call it out. Conte went to war with Abramovich. That's a brave man. Do you know what I mean? So if he went to war with Abramovich, he ain't going to have no worries about smoking the Glazers.
Yeah, exactly. And this is my whole point.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Ollie get a new contract in the summer?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Did he?
No, but the payoff is a minor because Man U were rich, so it's not.
No, but it's not that. It's just the message it sends, though, Drift. It's like, I don't know. It's like if you remortgage your house and then you just duck out and just don't maintain it, everyone's gonna be looking at you like, well, why did you remortgage it? Why didn't you just sell it? We're in October now. He only got a new contract 2 months ago. Bro, you're with EE, Drift. You can't just call EE now and tell them, I've been with you 2 months. I want to get rid of it.
Well, I can, but they'll be like, you've got
they'll charge the rest of it for it.
Yeah, they'll be like, bro, why did you renew the contract if you wanted to leave?
But Cal's right. You can't do that. And not just that, they've extended Ollie's contract. They've extended Phelan's contract, and they're going to extend Carrick and McKenna's contract.
I big up the Glazers every time. I have to big that man up.
The rivalry is strong with this one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you keep the pattern of win, lose, because it will mean we beat you, then you lose to Atlanta, but then you beat City, and that'll help our title race. So I beg you keep this win, lose.
Bro, this is Aaron right now.
Stop. I did speak to him last night. Stop. He told me the whole story sounded like Safari 2.0. Stop. What I mean, Safari 2.0. Stop. No.
I think he's heard enough, bro. I think he's heard enough.
You know, just quickly before,
all day.
Just quickly before it leaves my mind. Speaking about managers, just quickly before it leaves my mind. Just quickly, Chappie, was you slightly worried about the rumours of Brendan going to Newcastle? Speaking of managers, because you know that whole Newcastle looking for Brendan thing.
No, because his contract's all the way to 2025, and if you're a Leicester fan, you already know from a statement beforehand that he's not leaving unless the club get rid of him. That was what he said before that. So if you're a Leicester fan, you already know.
They've probably got enough money to buy him out and they leave you some on the side, though. So that would have been
maybe,
the issue.
But don't you think that Newcastle are going to get everything else in place first, like a new training facility, ground, refurb and all that before they start really going for it? Don't you think they'll do the foundations first?
Nah. I think they'll get the manager in first.
They got enough money to do it all at the same time, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, thankfully, he's not good. I just thought I'd just quickly ask you because that was something that I think Leeds fans are a little worried about. But yeah, just quickly.
There's no loyalty though. Like you're right about Rodgers. He left Celtic like that, dropped him So
yeah. But yeah, just quickly, you were saying about Ollie, so Rob.
Yeah, man. The way we're playing is just not sustainable, and honestly, I just can't see him survive this run of fixtures now that we're getting in the next few weeks. On my personal channel, I've said something. I've made a bold statement. I said that we would not get out of this group in the Champions League. I don't think we're getting out because you're not getting away with it. Like I said, every single game, it's going to work once or twice. It's not going to work every single time. And the teams that we've played so far, we've played them all one style. They're not stupid, bro. They're looking at this and thinking, "Oh, you man think you can get away with it every time?" Say no more. We'll make sure that we put you in a position where you cannot get out of this. There's no way. And our team is disjointed anyway. So, yeah, man. And
even though you'll probably win, because I think you'll win all 3 home games. So when you say get out of the group, do you mean Europa or not at all? Like you think you'll finish 4th, you mean?
No, it might be Europa, it might be 4th. I just don't think we're getting out.
Scary to even hear that, a team that signed Ronaldo and Varane and Sancho in the same season is.
But this is a testament to Ollie just not being good enough. And I said this as well. I said, if we go down to the Europa League, first things first, Ollie's going to get sacked, or he has to, because it wouldn't surprise me if the club doesn't. But
Ronaldo will be manager by that point.
Ronaldo, I think, I don't know if I said it on this channel before. I think Ronaldo's going to go to the board, to Ollie, whoever's in charge, and say, do not dare to put me on that list because I'm not in the Europa League. I can see him do that. He's not going to play in the Europa League. There's no way Cristiano Ronaldo's going to do that. No way. And there's another stat that I've seen that said Ronaldo hasn't gone trophyless in over 10 seasons or something. And this is another record that has broken so many records, embarrassing records as well. I think there was one that said Burnley had never won at Old Trafford in 40 years. Ollie broke that. I think something with Aston Villa as well. Never won at Old Trafford in 20 odd years. Ollie. There was so many records, like embarrassing ones as well. You know what I mean? Like Ollie's just coming and broke all of them. And after the game, especially what's it called? Leicester game, coming out and smiling, bro. And that just
I saw him winking at someone. You're thinking, who's he winking at?
Like I've always said, Ollie thinks like a fan. He doesn't think like a manager, because if I just look at
happy to be there. He's so happy to be there.
He's living there, man.
Happy to be there, bro.
Living a dream right now.
Yesterday was just another proof of what I just said. He thinks like a fan and not a manager. I just look at the starting lineup and I seen Rashford, Greenwood, and Ronaldo, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? Because in his mind, he's thinking, Rashford, Ronaldo, Greenwood, goals. And I'm just like, but who's providing for who? What, are the goals just going to fall from the sky? Like, he's not thinking straight, bro. He just thinks, let me just keep that 4-2-1, which is like the standard formation. That's what he's going to play all the time. And let me just try and fit anyone who's in there that can get me goals. That's not.
You know what's mad, bro? Yeah. Big up Yafu with his earlier super chat as well. I'll get to that because he asked the question: is Sancho better than Rashford and Greenwood? But before you answer that, what's mad is my brother rang me yesterday before the game, and he was like, he's Ollie out, like fully Ollie out, and he was like, bro, do me a favor, predict Man United's lineup. It just came out. Tell me Man United's lineup. And I swear, as I sit here, I predicted, and he laughed for about 3 minutes. And I was just like, are you serious? Is that, bro, you didn't even get one player wrong. You actually picked the entire... Is that now, if you as a Liverpool fan can pick the Man United starting lineup, what does that say about how predictable Ollie is and how he's just got favourites? That, like, it's so obvious. And I thought about it, I was like, that is kind of peak, innit? That, like, I as a Liverpool fan could actually predict it.
United fans did the same thing, because when Rashford played against Leicester, I knew that when he got taken off, I knew he was going to start against Atalanta. I knew it. And before even Rashford came back from injury, I said, I hope for Sancho that he's going to get the game time that he needs, because when Rashford comes back, man's not playing, bro. He's not playing. Because
so on Yafu's question then, bro, how are you feeling? Is Sancho actually better than Rashford and Greenwood for you? Like, how do you actually feel about that situation?
In terms of talent, I'd say he's better than Rashford and Rashford. Greenwood, I don't know. I think Greenwood is slightly ahead of Sancho. But in terms of scoring goals and output, Rashford is undeniably better, bro.
Greenwood excites me out at the King Power. That goal.
That was a good goal. That was a
very
good goal.
Yeah. Very good.
I mean, the run, the finish, bro. He's just clinical like that. But his finishing is very. I always say Rashford's finishing is bipolar. Like, sometimes he pull off a great finish, like against Leicester, but then yesterday you seen what he done, like missing chance after chance after chance, scoring one, but then missing again. Like, it's very hot and cold.
His goal was a beautiful finish, though, isn't it? And you're thinking, why don't you just do that every time? Like, he actually rolled it in. It was a beautiful finish. I'm not going to lie. I was watching. I was like,
is my background loud? Can you guys hear my background?
No, I heard one little kind of. I think I heard Stevie shout Bobby, but other than that,
just really just at the moment, right in the garden.
Is it foxes?
So what are they doing?
They
Oh, damn.
yeah.
You know what they're doing, though? They're celebrating Leicester's battering the other day, innit? The Foxes. They knew Chappie was on the show.
I wish they did someone else's garden, though. Like, they're right there.
You're not Secret Blue, are you?
No. I just wish they'd have a bit of decorum. They're like right there.
Someone in the comments said, didn't Ollie break the record for not having the most clean sheets as a manager in a row? Yeah, I think we only got like one clean sheet in the last 30 games or something.
Wow.
Oh, swear down. That bad. I didn't see.
There's another stat, bro. There's better stats. There's another stat, yeah. We haven't gone up 2-0 in a single game since the 7th of March 2021 when we beat City at the Etihad 2-0.
That's crazy.
You saw Jamie's comment, innit, Cal?
I haven't even.
Have you got a list of stats in front of you, Aaron? Because I don't remember these things.
I'll just see his comment now. Do you know what's so mad, Aaron? Yeah, in terms of like Ollie, and this is actually a serious question. Would you even honestly say Ollie is much better than Steve Bruce, in your own opinion?
That's it.
No, I'm asking genuine question. This ain't even is he much better than him?
Matt, I'm not gonna lie. Aaron, if Aaron smoked you for this, bro, you deserve it, bro.
The reason being is because someone said it.
You just know this is a plan. Drifty's got a video to play any second.
No, it's
he's gone rogue. He's gone rogue on me here, boy.
Someone said in the comments, like Bruce, and I was like, you're chatting like. I didn't want to say the word, but obviously someone was like, bringing Bruce. I was like, Steve Bruce, like, come on, let's be serious, yeah? And what's so crazy is this, yeah? I'm not saying Steve Bruce is as good as Solskjaer, but do you want to know something?
He's better.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know something? I don't even think they're worlds apart. I don't think they're worlds apart, though.
Here's what it is. The statement to bring in Bruce is silly, but asking the question, I think I agree with Cal. I think Steve Bruce organises that defence with the quality of the defenders. And Man United are a better outfit.
And I'm not saying my whole point is I'm not saying obviously Man United go for Steve Bruce. What I'm saying is when someone said in the comments Steve Bruce, I was laughing. But then when I actually deeped it, I was like, do you want to know something? Even though I still feel like Steve Bruce is not as good as Solskjaer. What's so crazy is I still wouldn't say they are miles apart though. And this is where the joke is. We're talking about Manchester United. People laugh when I say Steve Bruce's name. Just the same way how people should be laughing when I say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Aaron understands that. That's why I asked him, because he fully understands that, bro.
You know what it is, man? You know what it is? I think Bruce and Ole are as bad as each other. But one thing that Steve Bruce has managed to do with the quality of players he does have, because, bro, any manager that doesn't manage Man United or the Big Six, including Leicester, would love to have the type of money that Oli has spent at Man United. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bruce,
100%.
And I think Bruce would have loved that, but Bruce hasn't spent anything, bro, like barely. And he still managed to keep Newcastle in the league. Now, let's flip it around, yeah? You give Oli that Newcastle squad, I guarantee you they're getting relegated.
They're gone by January.
See, and that's why when I asked the question, this is what I'm trying to say. It's mad, isn't it? Because Solskjaer at Newcastle, I think he's finished. I generally think that like they're getting relegated, as you said.
Yeah.
I mean, AA makes a great point here. Oli's great at his job. Give him at least 3 more years. You know, I'm worried. I'm worried, guys, because I'll admit, I'll play my cards on the table right now. Man United with a proper manager are an actual threat.
Yes,
and
100%.
Well, and I feel very conflicted.
I was going to say, Lee's right. Who would be the manager?
You've had Jose Mourinho, they've had Louis van Gaal, the list goes on and on and on and on. We're still from that.
Well, here's the thing, Lee. I would say if the owners took their agenda out of it and actually did what was best for the club and not what's best for them, any of the managers that we've named or were available would have been a manager that would have really had Man United fighting for the league. I mean, Thingy went to Juventus and he was free. That's a manager that Man United should have just got rid of Oli after he lost the final of the Europa League and said, you know what, let's bring in Allegri. Someone who actually knows how to use defensive tactics, but also create goals from counter-attacking, whatever. And you could have even played a similar way. But you could have had a manager who actually knows what he's doing. Do you get what I mean?
I just think it's simply Conte, to be honest with you. I think like a short-term manager with like, we all know like Conte wants to succeed by getting like loads of players in with a lot of money. But Man U have already done that. Man U have done that with Oli. Just Oli's not a tactical. He's just tactically inept. He don't know what he's doing. Whereas like you bring Conte in, he fixes the defense already. He's got like unbelievable players at his disposal. He's got Ronaldo again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I think Conte at Man U would be a serious danger. He'll get them winning trophy, like major trophies again, just to get them back to that level of competing for the major stuff. And then you can focus on like the next like big project manager.
Will be available soon. Pochettino.
PSG. Yeah, no, but Pochettino would actually be a perfect fit for Man U. But like
that's the one I fear the most.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know what people are going to say? Yeah, if you raise the argument that George just raised now, yeah, people are going to say, yeah, but he doesn't have the Manchester United DNA. He doesn't know. Another thing I'm going to say is, yeah, but he's a short-term manager. And this is where my problem is with a lot of United fans. United fans, and I think other fans as well, we need to understand, yeah, that we are not in that era no more where managers are going to stay at one club for 20 plus years. That's done. It's finished. It's not going to happen anymore. That Fergie and Wenger.
I beg to differ. Klopp's going to do it, but go on, continue.
I can argue even 10 years, bro. I don't think Klopp would do 10 years at Liverpool.
No, he won't. I'm just trying to put in the atmosphere above you,
I hear that. But respect to Wenger and respect to Fergie, what they done at Arsenal and United, was crazy, out of this world. But those days are over. It's done. Now we live in a time, unfortunately, but fortunately for some teams, we live in a time where managers come in and it's a 4 or 5 year plan.
Wasn't Pochettino like third or fourth, like behind those two, and he was with us for 6 years. So like, it goes to show that it's such a rare phenomenon to have these managers here for like
you'll be very lucky to have a manager for 7 years at your club in this generation. Very lucky, and that's successful. Like Klopp, very successful, bringing in trophies and playing good football, attractive football, entertaining football. That's the only reason why I would see someone keep a manager at one club for more than 5-6 years. Now, unfortunately, we live in a time where, bro, 2-3 years, if you don't get results, you're out.
That's because football clubs have gone from football clubs to almost franchise clubs. Business.
True.
Oh,
yeah. We'll just round.
Drift, check the chat.
We're not upset. We're obsessed with We're obsessed with trying to turn Oli into the next Fergie, and I think that's wrong. That's very wrong, and I keep seeing the comparisons between Oli and Fergie, and I think that's huge disrespect.
It is.
Two different generations, and I keep saying the Oli and Klopp comparisons as well, which is mind blowing. I mean, Klopp, when he came to the Prem, before he came to the Prem, man, had credit in the bank. He dethroned a super strong Bayern Munich squad that was dominating Germany for years, done that twice in a row. If you send Oli to Germany, he won't even make top 10. He won't even make top 10. So the Klopp comparisons,
Why aren't the rest of the Man United fans like you, bro? Because I'm gonna be real. No, I'm gonna be real.
You know why?
Because I came on here I came on here with loads of material for you tonight. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm just gonna be real with you.
You know what it is now? A lot of Man United
can't do it now.
Don't watch anything else but the Premier League or MOTV, to be honest. They watch that and think they know football. They don't watch anything else and think Manchester United is the end-all and be-all. Like, when they do the Klopp comparisons, they think, yeah, Klopp got 4 years, so Ollie needs to get 4 years. Bro, I still don't know how Klopp brought that team that he had in 2015 to the Europa League final. Bro, do you think Ollie can bring the Nathaniel Klein to the Europa League final? Never. Do you think he can bring Sacco to the Europa League final? Never.
Harsh. All right.
The Klein one was harsh.
Yeah,
still.
Klein was a bit harsh.
that was a bit
That's
harsh.
South London. That's a South London man.
I think that Steve Bruce comments got him fucking red on the edge.
There's reasons why
Steve Bruce,
Ollie should not be in the job anymore.
Steve Bruce. Remember when Steve Bruce was like, "Oh, people calling me a cabbage and that and whatever."
Nah, you didn't. Nah.
That's savage. That is savage.
That wasn't me, by the way.
That's savage. That's savage.
Nah, that is absolutely. Did you?
Oh my god. But you know what, just quickly, because I know we're gonna lose you, Chappie. Again, big up for coming on as well, man. I know you got an early start, so big up for coming on, man. Just quickly before I let you go though, bro. Leicester, predictions for the upcoming game you got at the weekend, bro. How you feeling?
Yeah, I've got Brentford, and as you know, they're doing well, really, considering it's the first time in the Prem. They're doing really well. They've got that 12th man as well, haven't they? The crowd are mental. You only got to see if you go back and watch them against Arsenal on the opener, it was insane to watch. A little bit worried. Our away form isn't, in general, our fucking form ain't great, home and away. But I'm hoping we can carry the momentum from beating United after the international break. Sorry, Aaron, I have to mention it again. And obviously the Europa League last night as well. That momentum, I'm hoping, is going to just carry on through, because that's what we needed, a break from the international break, big time. And I can only hope that we can go to Brentford and get 3 points.
What's your prediction for the score? What do you think it will be?
It's going to be tight, though. I think 2-1 to the Foxes.
2-1, indeed. But no, big up, man. Big up again, man, for coming on, brother. And like I said, that contract's in the post, bro. So just get that delivered, signed, and sealed. You know what I mean? And then we can make this transfer permanent, man.
Yeah,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
I'll speak to you all soon.
Yeah, bless, bro. Bless, man. Big up.
Take it easy, guys.
Lovely to see you.
Big up, man. Big up. He's not here anymore. He's having a bit of problem. So forgive KG with his Wi-Fi messing up, guys. He's having some technicals. But let's talk about it anyway. But if he jumps in, he can try and defend himself.
Yeah, I think KG keep trying. He keep trying.
Yeah, Leeds boys. He's back. I didn't think that they were ever going to be in any kind of trouble. And I know it is only 7 games. But I'm slightly getting a bit worried about them. I am slightly getting a bit worried about them. KG, I know you said you'll let us know when to hit the panic button, bro. What's going on? What is actually going on, bro?
Well, I mean, obviously these are these Wi-Fi issues, because they don't want me to speak about it. So, but it was poor against Southampton. I mean, Drift always says that Southampton can get a result. They can't get a result. If they didn't get 2 draws against the top 6 teams, Drift wouldn't be talking about Southampton getting any kind of results. But the fact is, in that game, we made them look like prime Barcelona in that game. It was disgusting. I mean, I even went as far as titling my video the worst performance under Bielsa that we've had, and it was the worst. Because you can be beaten 5-1, you can be beaten 6-2, but there's something in those games what we were doing well. We didn't do anything at all in this game. Like, there wasn't one positive in this whole game. So Bielsa's come out today, and I'll give you some quotes. Because again, this weekend we're without Calvin Phillips, we're without Bamford, Ayling, Rafinha will be back. No Robin Koke's out for another month. Firpo's out, but Bielsa said, in adversity, I don't have the capacity to do anything outside of football that generates pleasure. He actually used the capacity, and it just made me laugh. But What it is for me though, guys, is Bielsa always takes the blame when he gets it wrong, but it gets old quick. But what we don't want to see now, what I don't want to see, is him say that we're going to do better this time and everything, and then roll out both Rodrigo and Tyler Roberts in the starting 11. Because if you do that, we're starting with 10 people straight away. So this doesn't just go on the Southampton game. This goes on something I touched on in the summer about recruitment and not enough bodies. But that's how Bielsa likes it, a small squad. But if you're going to have a small squad, a bit like Klopp actually, but you've got to make sure that they're of quality. And a couple of these players just aren't of quality, especially when Rafinha and Calvin Phillips are out.
Now, it's funny you said that, bro, because that was going to be one of the points I was going to make.
Do you want to get it off the big screen or?
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Kagey.
That wasn't me, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like, bro.
So this is a legit question. This isn't me bantering, right? Your owner is rich. I saw him make some comments the other day. He's a very wealthy owner, so we know Leeds have got money, but obviously you're a team who do stick to the financial fair play. And he said it himself. That's one of the things that is obviously difficult is financial fair play makes it harder for smaller teams. And he would kind of like fair play to be a bit more strict so it could be a bit more fair, which I haven't got a problem with, even though I disagree. I think if you've got the money, you should be able to spend it.
I agree.
Is there a possibility, though, based on your restrictions, if you can now get 70, 80 mil for Rafinha, you may consider doing it because it's the only way to get Bielsa, maybe 2 or 3 £30 million players to do what you're saying and have a better quality squad-wise, even though you lose the ability of that one individual.
I mean, we're not. The thing is that question's crap now because we're not selling Rafinha in January, so there's no point even.
You don't think, no? You don't think if somebody comes in, you may think about it if it helps to bolster the squad, no?
No. If they're going to do anything in January, I've already said they need to go for loans. And after, doing business with Man United, I would hope that they could probably get Van der Beek or someone like that, someone who is definitely going to start in our team. But it doesn't even have to be a Van der Beek's quality. It just needs to be better than what we've got. Because when we're putting on Adam Forshaw as sub, I mean, it was a substitution as well last week. Let me tell you that as well. That blew my mind. It still puzzles me to this day. How we took off Rodrigo, who wasn't doing all that much, but then we bring on Adam Forshaw, like move Tyler Roberts up top, who's got like 1 goal in 60 games, and then bring on Gelhardt in a game where he shouldn't have come on anyway. Not in that kind of game where we're absolutely getting pammed all over the place. Like it was just awful last week. Like, and that's why I said it was definitely the worst performance under Bielsa. But
do you think?
Yeah, go on.
No, sorry. Okay, no, finish, bro. I'll start when you finish. Yeah, sorry, bro.
No, I'm seeing all this Leeds are too open stuff, man. Guys, you guys listen to too much TalkSport and everything. It's not open. It's just that the players are of the quality of what we're trying to do. If we have better players doing exactly what they're doing, it works. So it's not about all battening down the hatches and, going all Burnley style or something. It's just about getting better players. And that's something that the board didn't do in the summer. What they've done, in truth, is rely on team spirit. I promise you, they've relied on team spirit to see if they can get it over the line for a second year. Team spirit only gets you so far.
Just to play devil's advocate then a little bit, which is what you just said there. Like, surely it's then down to the manager to realize what he's got after the window's closed to then change the tactics slightly. You don't have to go full on Burnley, ban on the hatches, whatever. You don't have to do that. What I'm saying is, surely there's got to be some sort of readjustment if you know that your defenders or whoever maybe is not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's not happening. I feel like Bielsa's got this ideal way that he wants to play this, whatever.
And that's his way. And in all fairness, it's worked for three of the 4 years. So there's a bigger sample size saying that it works than it doesn't work. His win rate says so. But at this stage now, with a few of these players that have hit 30, within their 4th year of this style, it was time, and I said this in the summer, I said this on my channel, I said it was time to get a few more of these players onto the bench and get some new blood in the first 11, but they didn't do that.
Yes, Kay, and this is what I wanted to ask you, Kay, because you see the game now, obviously you had no Rafinha, no Phillips, no Bamford. That's, if I'm not mistaken, right? 3 of those players, yeah?
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
Do you see?
Too.
Yeah. And bro, this is what I was gonna say now. You see, when you was having that dig about Liverpool and injuries, now do you see in terms of like Because the two managers, in my opinion, as you said, love a small squad, right? And when you ain't got the replacements there, you feel it hard. And this ain't even a dig, but it's a sly dig. It's a sly one.
In all fairness, though, when you've got
you
injuries,
get it though.
in
Now
midfield,
do you see it? Now.
Wait there. When you have an injury in central midfield, Matt, and this is a point that you guys just seem to be missing in your lovely comfort at the top of the league, yeah. You will have Henderson or someone like that.
That's me putting your full screen, by the way. Yeah, go on.
You will have Henderson missing, but then you'll have Thiago coming on as your backup, not Adam Forshaw. So please,
I hear that. But what I'm trying to say is this: the whole point I'm trying to say is, yeah, when you have injuries to like key players in any squad, I know obviously unless you're like a Man City, even a Chelsea, yeah, you can make those replacements where you're like, it's not too bad, bro. There were times last season we had Nat Phillips, yeah, and Kabak, yeah, playing back-to-back games. You miss Rafinha and what's his name? Phillips and Bamford, yeah. And you lot got beat by Southampton, as you said. You shouldn't even need those players.
Matt, I cannot believe you're coming out with this tripe. This sounds like something I'm for. You're comparing our three key players, which is pretty much our three standard key players in our team, compared to you that still had a Salah, Mane, and all those other guys left over.
My whole point is this though. Your main thing that you said in the whole of that year was that we were missing some players, so it's one of those things, and he likes a small squad. That's why I'm asking you that question, bro. You see what it comes down to, and this is for me how I see it anyway. No matter how good your team is, if you've got key players missing and you ain't a City or a Chelsea, you're gonna feel it, bro. You just are, regardless of who you've got on the bench, bro. We've got Divock Origi, we've got Minamino, we've got Jota. Obviously, they may be better than some of your players, right? But my whole argument is this: you're gonna feel it, fam. Just like how we felt it when we had Kabak and that Phillips. You felt it in Southampton. No, you did, bro.
No. But the thing is, I'm not even making the injuries the main point of subject here. No, I'll leave that up to you guys. I'll leave that up to you guys. My main point is that the players that were on the pitch there did absolutely nothing. I mean, these are players that are trying to say that they can take the place of Bamford, Rafinha, and Phillips, and they did zero. That's the point I'm trying to make. For me, it's not just about when the players go out; it's about what the players that come in do. And they didn't do anything. But then when we're talking about depth on the bench, our bench, apart from Forshaw, was under 21 with like 4 Premier League appearances between them or something like that. That's what I'm talking about with the small squad. If you're going to make it a small squad, make it a good one. Or at least half decent. When you're talking about Adam Forshaw
Bro, what me, Kate, I swear.
He's back.
That wasn't for me, but you're going in. That wasn't for me.
He's back.
I've woken him still.
No. Listen, it's nothing like that, because I will never use just injuries as an excuse, because for me, it's a part of it, but there's also the performance, and at least making a 5-10 yards to your mate, pass to your mate, and making it stick. They couldn't even do that last week. Nothing was happening. No shots on target. That's what I'm talking about. It was just a horror show all the way around. And I've said, and going back to your first question, am I worried? Not at this point yet, but and there is a but in here. The Wolves game is important, because we've got Norwich after that. But in all fairness, most people are going to take 3 points off Norwich, so that don't really count to me. So I
mean, be careful though, bro, because you did say that about Southampton. You did say that about Southampton, bro. Real talk.
But listen. I'm not even looking at Norwich right now. In all fairness, I'm looking at this Wolves game, and to me, I'll be honest, with those players that have been left out again, if we're going to get the same serving of what we got served up last week against Wolves, who are miles better than Southampton, we're going to be in trouble. And all this, let's see what Tyler Roberts is going to do. Let's see what Rodrigo. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of all of that. How much chances can you give to one player? That's why I'm saying just throw in Joe Gelhardt now, see what he can do. Because if he does nothing, he will have done exactly the same as Tyler Roberts. Nothing. We're not losing anything in that sense. So just make the kid have a go. At least he can shoot. At least he will give it a go, and he can hammer them on target, unlike that person there.
I'm not even saying this to shade, but what would constitute a successful season? Because I'll be honest, going into the season, I thought that you would challenge sort of those Europa Conference.
Sixth. I thought Leeds 6th, 7th.
Right, yeah, 6th or 7th you could have really gone for. What now? And I'm not even gonna, as much as I banter you, and I will continue to banter you. I don't see you being relegation. I'm just being honest, bro. Like, you do the same in your position.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I don't see you as relegation candidate. So what actually would now constitute a successful season for Leeds now, considering where you are and where you hope to finish?
Well, right now, and it sucks to say it, but 12th would be a marvelous achievement with this group of players until January comes and they can get in some signings, because there's no way our chairman is looking at this team right now and saying that this is good enough. I refuse to believe it when he's talking about trying to get into Europe in 2 years' time. I've said it so many times. There's only so much that team spirit can do, because team spirit will go once the losses start as well. Because then everyone else starts looking at each other like, oh, it's not me, it's not me, it's him. It's nuts how all that team spirit rah stuff goes, man. I can't stand it. Just win on the pitch, and they're not doing it. The form says so. The table says so. They're not doing it. So, yeah, I mean, 12 would be a miracle at this stage, in all fairness, compared to that. Because I thought this October is a light month in terms of fixtures. Southampton, which is now a 0. Wolves, tricky. But then Norwich too. That's the lightest month. And from this, I mean, November, December is crazy. So, yeah.
Boy, you know what I mean? I'm not even blowing smoke, bro, because you're here. I want Leeds in the Prem. So I do hope this gets sorted out, because it's starting to worry me a little bit that you're going to spiral, because it looks a little bit like, you know, I mean, I don't even mean this to sound ironic, but your team was way too good to go down the last time you went down, and it happened. And I feel like your team's too good to go down this time. But, like, I know we're only 7-8 games in, but it is a bit of a worry that it does seem a bit like, you know, things are going the wrong, because it's hard to get back if you lose the ground. That's the problem. You might pick up the form, but the ground might be too, you know what I mean? You might be too far behind.
But in all fairness, I know you guys don't look down that end of the table very often, but there's a lot of bad teams down there. So if we can string 6 points together, we'll be all right. And also with that as well, just on the Bielsa thing, I wouldn't want Bielsa to go, because he's the one that's made these middling championship players get to the level they are now. So if you take him out and you get in a Sam Allardyce, all of a sudden, all their training, all that hard work is going to go out the window, and they're going to go back to type as they were in the championship. And that's a fact. Just because they've improved to this point now doesn't mean another manager can take it on. You know, I always equate it to, like, in an office, you can have a good manager, a good team, and it's all working well, but then you change the manager, he brings his new ideas, and then the team goes to crap, even though you're the same people. So Bielsa, for me, is the best man to get the most out of the current crop we've got.
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous. You don't want to be in a situation where you think you're too big for your own boots, where, like, you get rid of your manager and then who's left? Like, who is the replacement that will take you to the next level? Like, realistically, I don't think there is. I don't think there is one. Do you know what I mean? So I think you just got to improve the team, like you've been saying.
No, I mean, you know, that's a good segue into the next part I wanted to talk about, because we'll get onto you guys, George. A lot of people were laughing at you. And obviously, after the Arsenal performance, it was embarrassing. And I was laughing at us. Yeah. I wanted you to win that game so badly. And obviously, you're a team who hired there. It's not even hidden. 4th, 5th, 6th choice manager. Do you know what I mean? And he was getting a lot of stick after the Arsenal game and 3 losses in a row. But you know what? He's turned it around again. And then you're actually doing all right now. I mean, we won't talk about today, because I know you put a weak team out. Yeah. We're not going to banter about that. Like, you put a weak team out. It's clearly obvious he's not really that bothered about that. He's trying to get the Prem form sorted, because I think that's where his job lies. I think a lot 100%. Of people forget that, he might win the conference, but will he get the chance to win it, because they might get rid of him if the league form's poor? Because the league form is always where you get judged just in general. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're doing well in European competition. So how you feeling about Tottenham and Martial? Because you picked it back up again.
I mean, just on that, we sacked Pochettino the same year we got to the Champions League final. So, and it was completely down to the fact that the Premier League form the whole year was relegation form. Like that, so it's the same. Like you're right. Like fans are already a bit iffy about Nuno already, and we're only 8 games in, so there's no way he's going to make it to the end of the season if his only good form is in the Conference League. Do you know what I mean? So you're right. I think getting the Premier League was right, and I think today just kind of nailed our first 11. Really, it's like he's finally been more consistent. He changed the formation, like I said ages ago. We got rid of this 4-3-3 shit where we've got 3 defensive midfielders. Like, got rid of that. We've gone back to our OG 4-2-3-1 with an actual number 10 in Ndombele, who's getting a lot more minutes, looking a lot fitter and lasting a lot of games. And he actually would have been man of the match last game against Newcastle if it weren't possible for the whole heart attack thing that happened with the fans, because I think they gave it to Dyer and Reguilon because of that.
Big up them, man, for that. They were fully on the ball with that. Big up to them, man.
Fair credit to them, because that was to spot that amongst the big crowd is like, you would have thought being impossible. But yeah, man, it's looking a lot better. He's changed the team. Changed the formation. But I don't know, man. The jury's still out. Like I'm still not like fully convinced when I'm watching every game. Like it always seems to be one half looks really good, other half isn't. And then I'm not seeing too many tactical changes either during games. It's just take Ndombele off, bring on Lo Celso in the same position. It's just take Lucas off, bring on Brian Hill in the same position. Like there's when something's going against us and we're losing pretty early on, I don't really see too much of a change from him. Really, I think the Newcastle situation was just a really, really slow start, and obviously it was a big occasion for them anyway. So I think we just didn't get the ball rolling. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going to go to Aaron first to come back to you because it's like a double question.
Okay.
Aaron, if Ollie stays in the job for the whole season because you do stick with him, could you drop out the top 4? Or do you think that that's too far?
Absolutely. I don't think we'll make top 4. Even with Ronaldo.
Genuinely, if he stays in the job, you don't think you'll make top 4, no?
Yeah, because we'll lose more games than we'll win the games, and we'll draw a lot of them.
Okay, so on that, George, do you genuinely think Tottenham could be one of the teams that could take that 4th spot if Man U did drop out of it?
If Man U did drop out, then yeah, because like the only other team that I originally would have thought would be really pushing for it would be Leicester, and them so far, apart from Vardy's form, I don't think they've looked too good, to be honest with you, at the moment. So we could be. But from what I've seen so far in the first 8 games, I'm not convinced by that at all, to be honest with you. I still think the likes of Man United have got way more firepower than we do right now. Because at the moment, we only have a good first 11. So if Kane gets injured again, or Son in particular gets injured again, we're in serious trouble.
AA here says, Drift, what's Man United's rival's favourite? What's United's favourite lotion brand? Olé. It's good for the skin, isn't it? Ain't Olé one of those, you know what I mean? I mean, to his credit, Solskjaer does look young for his age still. Cal, I'll come to you, and Matt, I'll come to you quickly on this one as well, yeah? The whole top 4, if Ollie did stay in the job, and, you know, who would be the team that could jump in there if they did fall out? Is it Tottenham? Is it West Ham? Who could be the team that could maybe jump in the top 4 if Ollie does drop the ball?
It's a tough one, Drift. I think on paper you'd go Leicester because obviously they got Brendan, who's been there a while, and obviously they've shown they've got a consistent enough team to do it. However, they always seem to fumble at the last hurdle. Like every season, it's always Leicester are going like 2 games left. Leicester are 6 points clear of whoever's in 5th, and then they still end up 6th. But like, it makes no sense what Leicester do towards the end of the season. West Ham, I think, are a dark horse, if I'm going to be honest. Do you think West Ham are a dark horse? They've got a good team there and they're quietly going about their business. No shade, George. I don't see Tottenham doing it. I think this is a transition season for you guys, and I don't think
I'm not expecting it to happen.
I don't see it happening. But at the same time, I don't see United dropping out top 4. I actually think United will finish 4th. But I think it will be a tough season, especially if Ollie stays. And even if Ollie leaves, I don't think he'll be like, you'll get that new manager bounce, but you've still got to sort of change the mentality, and that doesn't happen overnight. As like we've seen it with Klopp, guys. Like the players' mentality change. It takes a season or 2 to really hone in and get them playing the football, and also having a belief in what you're trying to achieve as a manager as well. So I do think it'll be difficult, but if one team were to do it, if I had to put like my neck out on the line and decide a team right now, I'd probably go West Ham, which I think is crazy considering I don't rate Moyes, but I'd go West Ham.
Fair dues. Matt, before I come to you, big up yourself, say what's going on, brother? Pleasure as always, man.
Come on.
What's going on, bro?
I'm here. There you are. What's good? Everyone all right?
Yeah, man. You know,
Yeah,
I'll put the question to you before I put it to Matt, bro. Top 4. Who could be a team that could get in there if Man United keep Ollie in the job and he doesn't get them top 4?
I'm gonna pretty much second what Cal said. Like, I do think they will get top 4. I'm gonna caveat that by saying I do think it'll be a tough one, but I think they will. But if they don't, how many times can you just get licked down until you say no, we're gonna get it right? Like, how many times, bro? Like, you can't. Like, groundhog. And I rate Brendan Rodgers as a far better of a manager than he seems to be showing himself at the final day of the seasons. You know them ones there. Like, it's just how many times can you get your, like, I do feel like he's a coaching manager who learns from his mistakes, and I think he's going to eventually get it right. So if I had to put my money on it, I would probably say Leicester, but that was going to be my underdog shout before Cal said that. I said West Ham could do it, you know. Again, I don't rate Moyes, but I do rate the team spirit. They've got very good cohesion. The way that their players are, like, their drop off, like their subs, like there's not a lot of, do you know what I mean? Drop off, like they all know their job. They all play well. The linchpins in their team. Very few injury problems. They all play the Součeks, do you know what I mean? And they just seem to just roll over. So that was going to be my underdog one. But yeah, I say Leicester, man. You can't keep on flopping. Like, you got to get it right.
I think my only thing for West Ham is they're not used to European football. And now they've got the big task of the Europa League now, and how they're going to focus on it. Do you save Antonio for midweek? Do you save him for the weekend? I think that's going to be a big test, especially with a manager like David Moyes. That's why I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for them this year. Because I think Leicester, was it Leicester that had that problem? I think Leicester might have struggled when they first got into European. Maybe it was like, or even Burnley, like the likes of Burnley when they got Europa League. Like they flopped hard after that. So
I remember Burnley in Europa.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I remember
that.
that.
Was nuts.
Burnley in Europa, you know.
No,
imagine the away fans trying to find Burnley. It must have been a joke. Like when they were coming over here,
let alone another country.
Do you know
what?
Yeah,
I would have been happy about them foreign teams coming over to Burnley to play games.
You know, thinking about squad because
I was just going to ask Cal a question, but I'm not going to do it.
No, ask him.
No, go.
I was going to say, Mr. Dyche, what do you think of the Porter fans trying to, you know, finding it hard to find Burnley on the map and finding it hard to get to Turf Moor? What do you think?
You trying to give man bronchitis?
Well, what do I say? You want it in Burnley? All right, let me take it away. The thing is, I don't really care what Porter have to say. Turf Moor is like a palace. It is paradise in Burnley. Now, listen. Porto, them have culture, them have heritage, but nothing like Burnley. Burnley is a special place, you understand? And if them can't find it, me can't do nothing about it. So, as me say to everybody, if you don't want to play at Turf Moor, don't come at Turf Moor. We are the best. And it is a travesty that we not come back in Europe yet. But watch this space, because we are come. Make sure me tell you, Burnley are come to take over the world. Burnley are come to take over the world. Ba-la-la-la-la. Ba-la-la-la-la. I could rise up. Ayana.
Hey, that was genius.
Messed up my
I was begging our brains were syncing up, and you was gonna hear me thinking, what, them nav sat now?
Oh man!
You know, I know we've lost KG again, but just moving on to the last topic before we go to the predictions. I was talking to my brother yesterday, right? And Aaron, you man, I'm not even gonna lie, you've got a lot of players who are actually very good for another team who could utilize them. It's actually kind of mad if you actually think about Man U's team. So as KG was saying before, where he'd hope that they'll look to the likes of a Van der Beek, I actually think Newcastle are going to knock on your door a lot when January turns around.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, do you think that you might actually loan out quite a lot of your squad, especially if a new manager was even to come in? It's probably half the players they ain't even going to want. Do you think the likes of Van der Beek, Martial, like, if I'm being honest with you, if I was Newcastle, I would actually come to Man United and I would take Bailly if you would let it happen, because you don't use him, and they need a defender to play with Tarkowski, who I think they'll probably get. I would definitely get Van der Beek. I would get Martial and I'd play him up front.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because Callum gets injured so often. Do you know what I mean? Like, you lot have got quite, like, Lingard. I think that should be a...
I was just about to say, Lingard will be there whoring himself out.
Yeah, I would actually ask Man U to loan Martial and loan Van der Beek, and I'd ask for a permanent transfer of Lingard to be the first kind of knows how to get it done player to add to the squad when you're trying to build. Do you feel like you do have a lot of players that in January, your squad's probably going to shrink a lot because people will come and take these guys?
I couldn't agree more with you, bro. Like, the players that you just named, I think, well, you might not know this, but I mean, I don't blame you for not knowing this, but Amad Diallo might be another one who, you know, Newcastle could knock on the door for.
My brother champions him a lot.
Very young as well.
Yeah, the fullback, that little young fullback, innit, or something?
No, he's a winger. He can play on the left and the right wing.
Okay.
So he could link up very well with St. Maximin over there. Lingard, I think, should be a player that we sell to Newcastle, but Ollie came out in the press conference talking about he wants to give him a new contract because he thinks he can be part of the plans. Right.
Ollie.
You know what though, Aaron? As you said, he's got the United DNA though. I mean, if there's anyone who knows how to be a United boy, it's Lingard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's him. So listen, we're trying to give him a new contract. I don't know why, but I think Diallo might be a player who could go out on loan to Newcastle. I think it would actually be good for him. Premier League team, he'll get minutes. Whoever the manager's going to be, a very skillful player, very quick as well. And yeah, it will make life easier for him to adapt in the Premier League because he's not getting no game time with this squad, with this current squad.
What about that young guy you got from Inter Milan as well?
That's what I'm talking about. No, we got him from Atalanta.
No, that's who he's talking about. I was thinking of Darlow. My bad. Anfield Road.
So hold on. Yeah, I didn't hear you mention his name. Sorry, bro. I didn't hear you mention. What's his name again?
Amad Diallo.
Amad. That's it. Amad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Sir. Yeah. I'm with you saying. I thought you were talking about the right back.
That's what I thought. My man.
Is it? Yeah. Ain't he called Dalot as well? The right back.
Yeah, Dallo, yeah.
Dallo, yeah. I mean, he's talking about the requirements.
Dallo's the right back. He's talking about Diallo, like the winger.
Okay, I'm with you now. I'm with you.
He's moving like this,
wasn't he?
You can't see it all. Huh? You can see though, right?
I'm legally blind. I can see barely.
Barely.
You better move him,
you know what it is? It's just barely. Players, bro. Bare meaty players, bro. You get them like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. Dallo, I know you're talking about. Yeah, Diallo, the winger that he got from Atalanta.
Dallo's the one.
Wasn't he supposed to go PSV on loan or something, and then he got injured? Was that him?
Yeah.
No, Diallo was meant to go on loan to Feyenoord, but then he got injured.
Feyenoord, that was it.
And that's why they got Reece Nelson. That's why they got Reece Nelson from Arsenal.
Yes.
Diallo was meant to go. Dallo was meant to go on loan as well, but he said that he wanted to stay at Man United and fight for his place, but that didn't really work out because Benzema had him on toast in the Champions League. So yeah, man, I think our squad is going to get smaller and smaller in January. I think Martial, because you said Martial out on loan. I think he's going to go on a permanent, bro. I think Martial's
in January.
Martial's looking to go. Like he's not.
You think?
I think Ollie don't like.
You can't really tell though, can you? He's had the same expression from when.
You want to know what though? Yeah, I'm going to stick my neck out on the line here. If Newcastle were the team that convinced you to buy him, and Newcastle's manager was the right manager, Martial would have a new lease of life. No, I'm being serious. He is a very talented footballer. No, he's a very... No. All jokes aside, yeah, Martial was a very, very talented footballer. And if you got the right manager, playing him the right way, giving him the love at a team where he can... Because think about it. He walks into Newcastle as the best player in terms of stature. For me, he's not as good as St. Max in terms of what he could actually do for the team. But in terms of overall stature, he walks in that door and straight away, he's the guy. That's who Martial wants to be. That's who he's always been annoyed Man United won't let him be. I think he'll flourish at Newcastle.
That's mainly because of where he's come from, not really who he is and what he's done. You know them ones there, like you said.
No, I hear that. But he would still be the most accomplished player in the United squad, though, right? In the Newcastle United squad.
I agree with you, but the reason why it's come to this point in the first place is, again, the purchase of Cristiano Ronaldo. As soon as we bought him, I said, two players are not going to benefit from Ronaldo coming back to Man United, and that's Martial and Greenwood. Greenwood had a fantastic start to the season playing up front. Ronaldo comes, shifted to the right, and the performances have gone down. Yes, he scored that wonderful goal against Leicester, but you're going to see it every once in a while. It's not going to happen every game. Martial was coming back from injury, was meant to play up front, but then all of a sudden Ronaldo's back and he's barely getting any game time. So I think he's looking to go. And if he can have the opportunity to go on the permanent in Jan, I think he'll go.
Fair dues, man. I mean, you know what? I know this might sound like I'm being a bit stupid because of the rivalry, but Tottenham, George, do you not think that you lot should be looking at Martial? I think he could be a good addition to that Tottenham team, to be honest.
George's face says it all.
I don't know where. I don't know why.
I mean, as a replacement for Kane if Kane's not playing. Like, you said you need somebody who can play up front.
Hey, Martial. You're hurting him with every word you say, bro. You're literally...
Listen.
I've got that one right here.
No, you lot are sleeping on Martial. I'm going to be honest. So you lot are sleeping on Martial. You really are.
We're talking about Anthony Martial.
I'll tell you what is drift. Bro. I think you remember the Martial that turned up at United and twisting up Skirtle and all. He's not that guy anymore, bro.
Why?
And he wouldn't fit at Spurs anyway, man, because he's not going to be that lone striker that's going to link up with Son and that. Like, it's just not going to work.
I think he would link up well with them.
No, he's going to drift to the left and trip over Son.
But then as he drifts to the left, then Son can go inside because Son's very good at taking up. I think that they could have some chemistry there.
He's not that type of player, in my opinion. I think you see with Martial, first of all, or even go PSG or something like that, and like kind of find your footing. If Mbappe leaves, maybe they can.
And I'll take Lautaro Martinez. There we go.
Yeah, see, he's a better fit for you, Dad, because I think he can play that position better. But you see, Martial, Aaron, you could probably answer this better than anybody. Mm-hmm. When I see Martial, I'm still not even sure whether he's a left winger or a striker. There's times when I think more times than not he's better as a left winger. But then I think to myself, but sometimes he gets isolated, so maybe he's best playing down the middle. Then when he plays in the middle, I'm like, I'm not too sure because he likes to get that ball and then kind of like drift to the left, like automatically. Like when he gets that ball, it's like, I'm going to go to the left and then try cut inside and make something happen. Like, you know better than all of us, bro. What is he, in your opinion? Like,
I think Martial's a striker. That's what we bought him as, and that's what he played as when he was at Monaco.
I always see him as a left winger, though.
This is what I'm saying. People have different opinions.
That's because when Mourinho came in, the first player that he bought, one of the two that he bought was Ibrahimovic. So automatically, Martial got shifted to the left because he knows how to play there. This is what people don't know. He knows how to play there. So I personally think Martial's a striker who likes to come deep and link up with certain players. That's why when we talked about Sancho, I think 2 weeks ago, I said Sancho's the type of player who needs players around him that are going to do the one-touch, two-touch, quick football thing. Like Martial, like Van der Beek, like Mata, like Pogba. He needs players like that around him. Now, when Martial's playing on the left and he's got people like Ronaldo with him, there's no point playing him there because they're not going to link up well. There's no point.
No, I hear that.
Fully agree.
No, wait, one second. I need to reply to this guy in the comments because someone there called they carry last. I think he's Nigerian. I think he said Aaron no bolo. He think Martial need to stay. Let me tell you something.
This guy here, Aaron. This guy. Is it this one?
Something. I they know ball better than you. I do no ball better than I have played ball longer than you have been in your mother's womb. Okay.
I was like, hey, KJ ain't with it, so I'm just gonna take over.
Man dropped a nuke, fam.
But you know, strong. Big up yourself for sitting patient as well, bro. Welcome to the last segment, man. How you doing, bro? Big up, man. Big up.
Good brothers, you.
Good brother.
Bless, bro.
Yeah, man. Bless. You jumped in right at the end where we're gonna do our predictions, bro. So obviously we'll get you on the predictions as well. If you could bring that up for me, Matt, we'll see what's going on. I'll start with Tottenham, with their game at the weekend, and then we'll go round. We're gonna save the obviously we'll get Aaron's thoughts on how the game will go while we've got Aaron here, but we're gonna save our opinion for tomorrow when we do the proper Man United and a Liverpool preview as always. So yeah, we'll start with, I mean, we've lost KJ as well. Obviously, you were saying that the Wolves game is obviously even more important now. Could you scroll up to Sunday's game for me, bro? Spurs are away at West Ham. Tricky one for you boys, George. How you feeling about that?
Nervous, can't lie, just because I hate West Ham. I hate West Ham with a burning passion, and it's like horrible ground to go away to. But saying that, we normally fare well at the London Olympic Stadium, and Kane's back firing again. And I don't really think in the last few games, I think they won last time, but I don't think they've been as in form as they have been at the start of the season. And our first team is looking solidified now, and we were playing much better in the league. So I think we're going to win, but just about. And we've got a good record there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's funny. Martial always looks like he scuffed his Air Force One. That is actually true. That is actually
facts,
true.
Though, isn't it? It's facts.
Yeah, just quickly then, boys. So you're saying 2-1, yeah? George, you're saying 2-1, yeah?
2-1, I would say.
Stroll, how do you think that one will go? Tottenham away at West Ham, bro?
I think it'll be tight. I've got 1-1.
1-0, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Draw. Saint, what are you thinking of that one, bro?
Yeah, man, I think the same, but I think slightly more. I think score draw 2-2. I'm gonna say. I reckon 2-2.
Fair, dude. A lot of draws. Aaron, what are you thinking of that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same, man. I think it's gonna be a score draw. I'll say 1-1.
Okay, 2-1-1s, 1-2-2. Cal, what are you thinking on that one, bro?
Sorry, George, bro. I'm gonna go 2-0 West Ham.
He's on a sleep.
Sorry, I'm sorry, George. I'm
man
sorry.
Ain't really that sorry though.
He says sorry every week, and then
let's say sorry, not sorry.
Too late.
I told you, Cal's the type of brother that will rush you and then carry you back to your car. I told you already.
Help you with the wounds and that, like,
yeah. I'm gonna take your wallet and your car, but you know, I'll take the ambulance for you.
Boy.
What are you saying, Matt?
I don't even want to pile on. I think no. I'm being honest. I think 2-1 West Ham, bro. I think 2-1 West Ham.
And I'm gonna
2-1 West Ham. I think it's gonna be a tight game, but I think somehow West Ham will get the winner. I just think West Ham being at home in the form that they're in at the moment, I don't think they fear Spurs like how they used to, like maybe back in the day. Because I think this is a couple of years ago, even last year, I think Spurs like beat them comfortably, but I just feel like West Ham at the moment, bro, they don't, when they go into every game thinking they can win it. And that's dangerous because on their day, if they turn up, they cause problems. So I'm saying 2-1 West Ham.
I'm going to try and use a little bit of educated guessing here. And I'm going to not sleep on Tottenham because I slept on them for the Villa game. And they were very impressive in the Villa game. And I think Villa are as good as West Ham if you're talking about coming up with a result in a game where you would think that they could do it. So I'm actually going to go 2-1 Spurs. I think it'll be a very close game, but I think if Spurs can beat Villa, they can beat West Ham. So I'm going to go 2, and I think there's less pressure on them away from home at the moment. So I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. All right, moving on to the United game. Obviously, we're going to do our preview as I said, but we've got the Liverpool boys in the building. We've got Aaron. So, Stro, I'll start with you, bro. How you feel about this Man United game, bro?
That good?
I hate. There's one game this season I hate, right? It's Old Trafford away.
Yeah.
Growing up in Manchester, high school being literally a minute from Old Trafford, I hate it. I hate every single bit of it. I don't know what it is. There's just something about Old Trafford where whenever the fans are there, we can't play there. However, if these man think they can turn up and play like they did against Everton, Villarreal, Atalanta last night, this could be last year's game, 4-1, 4-2. Like, it could get to that. But I think it will end up being 2-1 to us. I think it will end up being tight. I think Ollie will go 5 at the back with wing backs. I think he has to. I think he has to try and make it as compact as possible.
I literally said that as well today. That's crazy.
Because I think when he did that in the game where it was 1-1, because it worked so well, he's tried to do that in games against us, and I think he'll go back to it because he's scared of losing this game because he knows he'll be under a lot of pressure. So I think it'll end up being 2-1, but I think Ollie will go 5 at the back and really try and grind the result out.
Fair dues, man. Saint, how you feel about this one, bro?
Yeah, man. Tough in its OT, man. Like, it is mad. It's we just play within ourselves, man. I've seen us go there and like them man have been falling by the wayside. Rashford on crutches, and we still can tuck them away. So like, but then in saying that, we've gone there with Reece and Nat Phillips and then brushed them. So I'm hoping that that's really now like they look at it like, no, we can do this. We've done this, innit? Do you know what I mean? And if we go in there and play our ball, yeah, we should win, man. But I don't see it being an easy one just because it is Old Trafford. And I do think Stroh's on the money, mate. I think 5 at the back, wing backs. I think, do you know what I mean? Like, Ronaldo's going to be playing DM, all of that. Like, so.
What score you going for, bro?
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say a close one. I'm gonna say 2-1. Still us. I think we just sneak it 2-1.
Okay, 2-2-1s. Aaron, obviously you're the one who knows better than we do, and it's a fair point that Stroh made about the fans. I actually completely forgot that the only 2 victories or the only times we've scored at Old Trafford recently were when there were no fans. So that worries me a little bit still.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the game?
I think the fans will play a big part. At the end of the day, it's a derby, and I think United will treat it as one. However, I do agree with Stroh, and I said it today as well when I was doing the show on Rance's channel, Big Up. I said that we'll go with 5 at the back, and Ollie is just going to go full defense mode, bro. He's just going to go for not trying to lose. That's what he's going to do. And I think in trying to do that, you lot are just gonna run riot, in my opinion. But I'm gonna try and be positive and just go for the best that we can hope for, which is a 1-1 draw, in my opinion.
Fair dues, man. George, you're obviously the outsider on this one. How do you think the game's gonna go, bro?
Well, after seeing how Man U played against Atalanta in that first half, I saw the fullbacks get ruined, or like they just found like so many of the Atalanta wingers just found so much space on that top right on the box, and obviously with the form that Salah's been in so far this season, I think he's gonna have a field day, man. I really do.
Hope so.
I'll say, yeah, because of the fact it's away and the fact that the fans, like the atmosphere grew massively midweek, which helped Man U big time, and especially if Pogba's playing, they'll do better. So I still think Liverpool 2-0.
Okay, clean sheet for Liverpool. That'll be a rarity. Still, I can't even front.
Oh my days.
Yeah, that'll be a rarity.
I will say quickly though, I don't want them to expose that high line, man. I really hope that they clock. I would hate for them to put a ball in and man's in his half, and then, do you know what I mean? Rashford is onto. Oh, bro.
I'll be honest with you. That was why I never ever wish injuries on anyone. But when I saw Rashford holding his hamstring, I thought, hello, this could be interesting, because he's one of those players who's going to be doing the running in behind, and we've got that high line. Ronaldo's not getting in behind our high line, but Rashford can. Do you know what I mean?
He had that the other day, and he just couldn't finish.
I was just about to say he got it, and he just fluffed it.
Is it me, or is Ronaldo kind of like literally playing his spurts? Like it's like he has 10 minutes off, then he's recharged, then he comes back, then he has 10 minutes off. Like I mean, obviously, at his age, it's understandable, isn't it? But yeah.
Bro, he's old man, isn't it? So
yeah, but this is what people don't get. Like Ronaldo's not the same guy anymore. I still don't know why United fans think that this is the same Ronaldo that left in 2009. Like, bro, he's the type of guy. And I gave an example of the Portugal Ireland game where Portugal was down 1-0. Ronaldo was nowhere to be seen. And then all of a sudden, 91st minute cross comes in, header. 93rd minute cross comes in, header. That's the type of Ronaldo we're getting. And that's what we saw yesterday. Didn't do nothing all game. Cross comes in 93rd, 94th minute, goal.
Yeah.
The type of Ronaldo you're getting. So because Ronaldo plays every game, you might as well adapt the football to him. You might as well just spam in crosses and he'll be there. But we're not even doing that. So
I definitely know if you put Ollie in a tight room where no one else could hear what was being said but you and him, he'd go, I'm so pissed with Simon. I don't even fucking want him. I genuinely believe that's what Ollie would say. Like, he didn't want. He knew it was going to put pressure on him. There's going to be someone who would question him. It was going to be a system that he didn't want to play. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even think he would say it in his head because I think he's scared of Ronaldo. I don't think he'd risk it.
Terrified. Absolutely terrified. Hey, you man, I'm going to make you man a promise. If we keep a clean sheet, I'm wandering down to Old Trafford. I will find Darren Saeed and all them man, and I will make videos. Let me make that clear.
If we win, bro, we'll beam you in live. No joke, bro. We will beam you in live, bro.
Swear down. If we keep a clean sheet at Old Trafford, I am walking to Old Trafford.
It's happening.
I am finding them, man. I am jumping on fan cams. I am going wild.
Hey, we love it. We love it. Just quickly before we get on to the Leeds game to wrap things up, we got a question for you here, Dash. Would you take Martial at Burnley, bro?
Martial? No, sir. Him name is Martial, but him not have no arts. No, me not want him. Him have to go somewhere else, car. We only want the top of the pile at Burnley. Grim, dollar grim. We only want the best. No to Anthony Martial.
Okay, there you have it, people. You know what? I'm actually gonna let Stroh answer this one, being that you just jumped in last minute, bro. Milner, he slept on. He's 35, still in peak condition. We talk about all the time, most underrated player in Premier League history, in my opinion. I think Matt and Cal kind of agree with me on that one. Decorated beyond anything, won it all. Has he got 2 or 3 Premier Leagues? He's got a Champions League, FA. Like, he's done it all. And people still act like he's this crap player. How do you feel about him still going, bro, at 35 years old?
Yeah, 2 things. One, that was a much better Sean Dyche impression than Aaron's one previously, historically. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Secondly, I still hate you for that. Secondly, Milner, like, his performance against Watford was stunning. And you see it in the Liverpool videos pre-season. He just outruns everyone. Like, he is, when you're a youngster looking to make it in professional football, he is the role model that you look up to in terms of how you look after yourself off the pitch. Yeah, he's an absolute immense.
No, he is, isn't it? It's actually madness, because I was saying, and obviously I'm not comparing him to Ronaldo in terms of their careers and stuff, that's stupid. But when people are like impressed with Ronaldo at 36 years old doing what he's doing, which is impressive, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's not impressive, but when you look at Milner playing fullback, midfield, and all that, you think to yourself, bloody hell, like, at his age, that's crazy. Like, he played 4 games in a row, played right back for 1, midfield for 3 of them, but in one of those he got switched to right back like 2/3 of the way through the game. You're thinking, hold on a minute, do you guys realize how old this guy is? Like, this is actually crazy. At this age, you've got him doing this much running. Do you know what I mean? So,
and he's going against Zaha and people like that.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Do you know what I mean? And Foden and all these young bucks that are just full of energy. It's crazy, man. Credit to Milner, man. I think he's mad underrated. So just finish up, but guys, could obviously in honor of, I know we lost KG with a bad reception, but Leeds Wolves, we're not going to leave them out because obviously their game's coming up and it's a big game for Leeds. I can't even lie. It's a big game for Leeds. So I'll go reverse order this time. I'll start with you, Matt. How do you think that Leeds and Wolves game's going to go, bro?
Do you know what? I think Leeds need this. They need the dub. They really do after losing to Southampton. Do I think they'll get it? It's going to be a tough game. I know they'll have they should at least have Rafinha back. I'm not too sure about Bamford and Phillips. I don't know whether they'll be back. I'm not too sure, but A full strength Leeds, in my opinion, should be a full strength Wolves, but Wolves won their last game, if I'm not mistaken, or the game before that. They got a little bit of confidence, and Leeds have lost. I'm actually going to sit.
They came back from the dead. Wolves actually came back.
Sorry,
from the dead
Wolves
as well.
came back in that classic match, innit? That's it. That's it. Yeah. I'm actually going to sit here and say 2-2 draw.
Fair dues. Cal, how you feel about that one?
Matt's just taken my prediction. I was thinking if it's not a draw, I unfortunately do see Wolves winning, but I do see it being a draw with it being at Ellen Road and the fans and all that getting behind Leeds. So I'm going 2-2.
Fair dues. George, how you feel about that one, bro?
I think Jimenez is supposed to be back starting, and I think Wolves' away form this season has been much better than their home form. And with how poor Leeds have been, I can see Wolves probably winning 1-0, to be honest.
Ooh. Only one goal in it. I can see your logic there still. I can. Saint, how you feel about that one, bro?
I'm not even gonna lie. Shout out to KG's dodgy reception car. I think Wolves are gonna slap them, and I just didn't have the heart to say it with him here. I say heart. KG, you know them ones there. So I just feel like George said. I think Jimenez coming back. The way it's the manner in which they won the last game. I just think they're bouncing. I do think that their away form that's been touched on as well is actually pretty good compared to their home form, and I just think that there'll be less pressure on them. I think there's a lot of pressure on Leeds. Do you know them ones there? And it's kind of like chasing fantasy league points. It just doesn't happen when you try and chase it, and I think that Wolves will do that.
Fair dude. I mean, I think it wasn't just the manner of the comeback. It was actually the opposition. It's one of the teams in the league that if you say they've got a 2-0 lead with half an hour to go, you're like, of course Villa are going to win that game. Do you know what I mean? Even if Villa are against a Chelsea or a Liverpool, if they were 2-0 up with half an hour to go, you'd be like, yeah, they'll probably win that game. Do you know what I mean? So I think it was the manner of the way they came back. I'm going to go 2-2. 2-2. I think it will be a draw. I don't think Leeds will lose this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves... Basically, Wolves' performances, that result was what they've deserved that they haven't got so far, because they haven't played like a team who shouldn't have any points, but they've been getting no points. Do you get what I mean? Stroll, just quickly, bro, what do you think of the Leeds game, bro? I think that will not end.
So, her dad's a massive Leeds fan. So, and you know what the worst thing is? We play Leeds on Boxing Day, so that's going to be fun for me. Secondly, I'm going to do... there's just something in me where, similar to Wolves when they got that win against Southampton and Jimenez scored and it was that moment, I think Leeds had that moment this weekend. I'm going 2-0 Leeds.
Okay. So at least we got... I know KG won't be too pissed then, because at least we've got one person believing that Leeds can pull one off. I mean, I want them to, because I want them to stay in the league. As I said, like, I'm a bit worried about Leeds. I'm not going to lie. Their form is actually getting quite bad now. So... I mean, just quickly, we don't see any shocks Chelsea Norwich in it. That's the point. It's pointless to even talk about that.
Nah, 3 points for Chelsea. 3 points.
Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility of Brighton pulling off a shock? Even a draw would be a shock, I guess.
They did last year, didn't they? Didn't they? Was it them? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
I remember Brighton having a good result against Man City last year.
Yeah, it was. I just don't think that's happening against Lightning.
Not this year.
Man City have got everyone back now. De Bruyne, Foden, like they've got abundance of options. So
it's about to be problems.
There's one game I'm looking at. Burnley need to get relegated immediately. Get them out of the league.
Too long.
Did you do Villa Arsenal? Villa definitely slapping Arsenal.
You know, I was going to take it easy on the Arsenal, man. If you don't want to quickly touch on it before we go.
You're talking about this game here.
I was going to leave Arsenal alone. I was going to leave them.
That's tomorrow.
That's tasty, bro. That's got meat on the bones, bro. Come on.
Masterclass.
Based on the fact that they did actually let go of the 2-0 lead, as I said, you don't think they might be a little fragile with that going into the game, or no? Everyone just thinks they will move to Arsenal, yeah?
No, I think they move to Arsenal, bro. I think so.
Are we underestimating Arsenal's ability at home? Because they might not be that great of a team in general, but their home form isn't poor.
What ability?
It's not great either, though.
No, it's not. But what I mean is, I think if they're playing at home, I think I'd normally always just think maybe a draw at the least. Like, if they're at home, I don't just think, oh yeah, they're gonna get beat up, because their home form isn't that bad.
What ability at home?
Yeah, they are. I know this was away because obviously they drew against Palace, right, in their last game. Yeah, they came back right at the death.
Yeah,
but here's the thing,
which
though,
is what I mean. Their home form got them over the
yeah.
line. Do you get what I mean? Like they at home,
No, I hear
they
that.
seem to have something
It
about
wasn't
them.
their
I kind of
own
feel.
fault, bro. It was Vieira, bro. That's what done it, bro.
I'm not only that. I feel like Arsenal probably play better against like bigger teams. So I don't want to bring this up, and George can hate me for this, but it's like the North London derby. That's where they show up. A team like Aston Villa,
we were that was the shittest I've ever seen us play for a long time. Like that
fully agree.
The fact that it was a North London derby kind of paved over the cracks a little bit because we weren't good at all, and we still like did better than them in the second half of that game, despite the fact it was like a shambles.
I mean that first half was the worst I've seen Tottenham in a
I
decade.
just feel like they're going to look at Villa and underestimate. I don't know, not underestimate them. They know what they got at hand. But I just feel like Aston Villa, like what Saint said, I think they're going to cause them a bag of problems because
I think when you're and Ings are going to have a field day with them.
And when you're struggling against Crystal Palace, who are a decent team, but let's be real, Crystal Palace are good on their day, and that's on their day, right? Villa, more times than not, I know they lost to Wolves in their last game, but if Villa really sharp, bro, they will cause Arsenal a bag of issues that they won't have to answer for. So I'm actually going to sit here and say Aston Villa might nick it 2-1.
Martinez is gonna show you, man. You don't want to chat Rams though, yeah. Show you.
True, he's got a point to prove big time.
I like him. I'm not gonna lie. He's a character, Martinez. I like him.
Palace, sorry. Palace had no Zaha. Remember that as well. You know they had no Zaha, bro.
No, I hear that. Like I said, but I'm just saying, since the turn of the year when they kind of did pick their form up a bit compared to how terrible they were in the first half of last season, I think their home form has been decent. They don't lose at home very often. That's all I'm saying. So when people are like, Villa are going to pam them, I'm just thinking, but at home, I don't necessarily see Arsenal getting pammed. Lose maybe, but not pammed. Like people are thinking it's going to be 2-3-0 to Villa. Like they're just going to walk them over.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'll be like that personally.
It'll be 2-1. I think
Villa beat them twice last year. I'm certain Ollie Watkins scored.
Have they beat them last season at Emirates? Did they?
Yeah,
No, was that in the first half of the season though when they were really bad?
That I do not know.
No, that was when Arteta had like 11-man defending corners. He's just a weird manager. They're dead. Arsenal are terrible.
They are awful.
They're poor.
So let me. I'll end on this. Who's worse, Ollie or Arteta?
Ollie.
Ollie's got a little bit of experience behind him. Arteta can at least say he don't.
They are both one league higher than they should be.
Yeah, and George was right. Villa beat Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates.
Oliver Watkins, he's the guy, man. He's having.
Matt, what was the date on it? Was it before Christmas or after Christmas?
To be fair, it was the 8th of November, 2020. Oliver Watkins got two.
I thought it would have been because their first half of the season form was terrible.
But then Villa beat them 1-0 at home, 6th of
Oh.
February as well. So Villa did the double.
They did the double on them. Yeah, they did the double.
They did the double. I'm telling you, man.
So maybe Arsenal might get nightmare. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think Arsenal gets smoked. But I just think
Danny Ings this time, man. Danny Ings is a problem. Serious problem.
He is. He's quality.
Even though he was still an issue for us.
Yeah, definitely. I agree, man. He's gonna be all over them, man. Watkins, what's his name? What's the defender they got? White.
Ben White, yeah.
Nightmare, bro.
Ben White. We'll save that for another show. But so far, Ben White has shown he ain't up for it, bro. He's just not.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm with Cal on this one. You see, when it comes to certain things, unless you're Virgil van Dijk, don't look clean as a defender. Look dirty, rough, and ready to just fight for your team's win. And Ben White looks too clean for me. Proper trim, all nice and sweet. I don't want my fenders looking all sweet like that, man.
No, but Jeff, it's got nothing even to do
No,
about
it does, because it kind of shows you're not ready for the battle.
No, Jeff,
you can't look all sweet like that, man. You gotta be on it, man. You gotta be ready to go to war,
all I'm saying is this: they brought him in for £50 million. Let's just take away fee. Furthermore, let's take away fee. They brought him in and said, "You are the guy to help Gabriel to sort out the defense, right? Okay, cool. So far, I haven't seen that much of an improvement. Furthermore, I would arguably say Tomiyasu, the right back who they brought in, has actually helped out Ben White. And that's because Ben White is used to playing in a back three when he was at Brighton and when he was at Leeds. And
no, at Leeds, he was in a 2, bro. He was in a 2 at Leeds.
When he played in a 3 at Leeds? Was he in a 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so so he played in a 2, so he should have been fine. Then he goes to Brighton, plays in a 3, got kind of comfortable. And now he's gone to Arsenal playing back in a 2. So you lot are saying he originated from a 2. But I have to be honest with you, man. What I'm seeing from Ben White, I don't see the hype. Like when I first saw him, I thought, yeah, it looks good.
I'm going to ask one question though, Matt.
Yeah, go.
Who is his manager at Leeds?
I was just about to say this.
Bielsa. Who's his manager at Brighton? Potter. He's his manager now, bro.
Yeah, but even at Brighton, he was the 3rd best centre back anyway.
I agree, George. But at his age, he shouldn't be brought in to solve a defensive issue. You're meant to go and get someone experienced for that.
Yeah, but Gabriel had to save him. At the start of the season, it was Ben White, and he looked a shambles when he was next to
facts. That is facts.
Pablo Mari. It was a shambles next to him. Gabriel came in after his injuries and actually saved him.
Yeah, Gabriel right now, and I know it's only like this is Ben White's kind of like first baptism of fire. He's only been in there for like 7 games or whatever, but Gabriel, and we've hardly even seen him because Gabriel's been injured as well, and I think missed a couple of games. But Gabriel, if you actually deep it, Gabriel's actually better than Ben White as things stand right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Ben White is bad. It's just that I thought he was better than what I'm seeing, and it's like
the issue. The issue Ben White's got is this: is when he was at Leeds, he had Cooper, who was the leader of that defense, and he was still finding his feet. He was in the Championship, had a phenomenal season. He then goes to Brighton. You've got Dunk, Duffy, 2 leaders in that team. So he's got a baptism, so he can settle in comfortably there. He's then made the big move to Arsenal, and there's no leaders in that defense. So he's trying to be the leader, and naturally he's never been that. He's never been the leader in a defense. And the big price tag isn't helping him either. He needs a leader next to him. He needs a Sol Campbell, a Van Dijk. He needs a Vidic. He needs that figurehead next to him, and you'll see a different Ben White. Problem is, they're looking at him to be that, and he's not that. He's never been that.
The thing is, Saliba would have been that if my man didn't have problems with him, because he's showing you that he's doing that up now. So.
I do think Tomiyasu has helped him, like you said before, though, because he's coming. He's a good defensive cover because he's a centre back and a right back. He's a learned player, so he's providing that extra cover for him. So I think when we talk about the whole 3 centre back tax with Chelsea and that with like Rudiger and whatever, I think Tomiyasu's kind of doing that to help Ben White a little bit, and he's still not looking that amazing. I can't lie.
He's not. He looks shaky.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie though. I'm not even trying to shit on Arsenal in any way, but Tomiyasu, I mean, they were starting to like rate him as one of the best right backs, and then against Crystal Palace, he got completely ripped, and I'm like, Arsenal fans don't learn. No, but that's what I'm saying. Arsenal fans never learn, do they? Like they will have one or two good games.
To their credit, they have Bellerin, who's been on a decline. Been on a decline since the injuries. But
that doesn't mean Tomiyasu is now like Sergio Ramos reincarnated or something. Do you get what I mean?
But
like
you've got improved. One thing I will say though, he's improved them. But yeah, the whole him being.
Imagine if Zaha was playing, because Tomiyasu was having problems against Crystal Palace, and Zaha weren't even on the pitch.
But
I ripped him a new one in that match on that form. Do you know what I mean? So
I'll say this though, Tomiyasu so far, and obviously it's only 7 games in. Tomiyasu's having a better season than Ben White. And
yeah. That's fact. That's fact.
And that's how I see it. And that shouldn't be the case.
I saw Christian Benteke skip past Gabriel.
Because Benteke is one of those men on his day who can perform well.
No. I'm not talking about giving problems. He skipped past him, Drift.
Benteke on his day is capable of doing that.
Drift, I'm going to repeat it because I don't think you really
Benteke will only have 2 of those days a year, but I'm saying he still on his day can skip past
Drift, you know what? Don't let Cal get away with this. You know why? Cal was bigging up Ben White, and Cal's shifting it.
Over to Gabriel.
No. I still rate Ben White. But I remember when I said I wanted Ben White, I wanted him to come in as cover for. I didn't want him to come in as a starter. I wanted him to come in as cover for centre back and right back. So I stick by that. I still stick by that.
Would you? And again, because it's different, and playing under Arsenal, playing under Liverpool is completely different circumstances. Completely. But you see what I see in Ben White. I hate to be that guy, but you see as things stand right now. You know when it's like, nah, I saw what man's done, and he looks good. I'm starting to wonder whether, you know, when you're just like, was he actually that good? Because I'm gonna be real, Cal. You see, if he comes to Liverpool now, he ain't better. Obviously, we know he's not better than Van Dijk. He ain't better than Matip. He ain't better than Gomez.
Not better than any of our players.
I don't even think he's better than Ibu.
He's not even better than Phillips.
Is he better than Phillips?
No, Phillips will school him. Are you mad? Phillips will school him.
Phillips
is he better than Phillips, Cal?
Phillips is better than Ben White. I'm sorry, he is.
No, so he's better with the ball at his feet than Phillips, but Phillips is better in the air.
Yeah.
But
who would you rather
which is what I need my defender to do, Cal.
The only reason I'd rather, if I'm taking all jokes out of it, the only reason I'd rather have Ben White over Nat Phillips is because Ben can also cover at right back as well, and I don't trust Nico.
That's fair. No, that's a fair point.
But that's a better aerial defensive threat than Ben White could ever do.
Oh yeah, 100%. But my thing was, Benteke is not meant to be skipping past.
No, I know.
Past Gabriel. He skipped past him, but when they slowed it down, you saw Gabriel's face expression after he skipped past him, and I was like, bro, that's Christian. That he's not meant to be doing that to you.
He rolled back the years. Peter, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Love for the super chat, but Gomez for White?
No,
not on your Nelly, bro. I can't even front.
White, damn son.
Not on your Nelly.
I agree with Cal. Like I said, because her dad's a Leeds fan, I watched every game when he was in the Championship with Leeds. He was immense that season. I think he won their Player of the Year. And at that point, when he made the jump, I wanted us to go and get him as a fourth-choice centre-back because, like I said, him next to Van Dijk is a different player, and that's a different problem.
I hear that.
And the fact that he can cover at right back as well. And I'm the same. As much as I like Nico, if Trent gets injured in a big game, I don't trust it, and I just don't like the thought of it.
No, I fully hear that. I'm just saying.
Ball game though, man. Like we got Joe Rodon, who was a Wales starter, and at Swansea in all Championship. That he was like they said he was by far the best centre back last year, or the year before when we got him. I've seen nothing of that at all, and he got scored today as well a lot of the time against Vitesse. So I don't I don't think just because he was amazing in the Championship means he's going to be this all amazing defender in the future, especially with the level that Arsenal want to be at. I can't.
Yeah, that is a good point. Still,
I personally can't see it.
The jury's out in it. We'll see. But guys, you've had us a bit longer than normal, but obviously because we brought in the special guest, big up. We gave a little bit extra time. Stroll, Saint, love for jumping in as well, guys. Appreciate it, George. As always, bro. Do you know what I mean? Big up yourself, bro. And you know what? Just before we end, I just want to say this, and then we'll pick this up later. I am throwing my agenda in, as I said before, of that whole Ndombele, and everybody always looked at me sideways about how Ndombele, and I'm like, recency bias always plays a big role in everyone's mind whenever we're talking about stuff, but I see the bigger picture. I told everyone the man was a baller. He's even finishing 90 minutes now. I just want to say, Ndombele, Ndombele. I say it, special talent. We'll leave it there and we'll pick it up next week. You know what I'm saying? I would love a man in my midfield moving like that. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to pick it up next week.
We'll pick it up. But guys, as always, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you check out everyone's channels. Do you know what I mean? Big up Saint and Joe. You want to let the people know where they can get you, and we'll add your stuff to the link as well.
Yeah, no worries, man. You can literally find me, Saint LFC TV. Come pay me a visit. I'm always talking crud on there. And it's the same on the socials, man.
And then obviously Mr. Itstro on Twitter and Instagram. From a third eye view on Pi Radio, so DAB radio across the Northwest, 7 p.m. till 9, and then on Sarcasm City with Flawless. Oh, I can't wait to jump on there if we win.
Oh my God. Hey, can I plug something as well, actually? Listen.
Yeah, go to, bro.
Can you drop in a preview for the Man United Liverpool game? And I've got this one. Do you get me? Assisting me.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Look out for that one still, yeah.
I'll be there. You know,
Yeah,
I'm there.
big up, man. Big up every time. So once again, love everyone. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. And we'll catch you tomorrow here for the Man United game. And then obviously, you know, we've got the Call-Ish show in the evening.
Man United preview.
So many games there.
Works after run.
Yeah, you're right. Preview, review, match review, so much shit going on. That's how much we bring you guys. I'm baffling myself. And then obviously, same time, same place next week for the Prem Panel Show. As always, big up everyone, and we'll see you next week, man. Peace.
See you.